efficiencies internally. Externally, I think we'll be able to link to our third-party providers as well to have more frequent information being flown through to our members. And also it'll support our entire recruiting platform, onboarding. There's so many facets. It touches the community as well as us that we'll be able to do more with the system and also be able to provide information at a quicker pace. It will remove some redundancies we're seeing of different platforms we have internally, so there should be cost savings as well there. But it's really the employee focus is what we're looking at, that it'll be a positive output for them on time and attendance, and our frontline sergeants, staff sergeants on the workload that they're doing that is very administrative.
Good luck with the implementation, and we look forward to the report in January 2025.
That's my job. Yes. Maybe more for Clark, because at this stage in his board career, but we will have PMOs within our SMO working with HR on the HRS system in conjunction with PwC. Okay. But we will, seriously, now that we're at this stage, our strategic management office is quite robust now, including our project management professionals. So we will be able to add another layer of support, which we'll be working along with Tracy and Bill and others on the implementation.
Well, it's great that we brought it to this point, and I'm sure the team that Tracy has is breathing a little easier.
Now.
That's the clarification. That's for number one today. Okay, anything further on this? Clark, do you have a volley of acronyms to throw back at the chief?
No, but I do recall about 15 years ago, former MVP Ted Chudley said that he asked staff one day if they could always make sure that they wrote out what the TLAs were. And he said to staff, oh yeah, they all agreed, no one asked what the TLA was, which was a three-letter anagram. Or acronym, sorry, three-letter acronym. And he said that no one asked about it for a few weeks as to what he really was after.
And what was he after?
He just wanted to see if they were going to explain out what a three-letter acronym was.
You should certainly send a memo out on this right away. Okay, so members of the board, this is a four-part motion that I'll be looking for at this point to move this project forward. The first is, it'll be one motion. The first clause is, I'm just going to summarize, receive the information update. The second is to authorize the board chair to sign the PwC and SAP contracts and agreements. The third portion is that the Halton Police Board authorize utilization of capital funds previously allocated for the new human resources information system to replace the existing OSL workforce management system. And the fourth is that the Halton Police Board authorize the transfer of $627,596 from the police capital reserve numbers to the open HRIS capital budget in order to fund the project costs, implementation, training, and integration costs, etc. The biggest number here is that the total cost of implementation of the first year licensing of the system amounts to $2,527,566, including a 15% contingency and net of HST. So that's the motion that we are looking for. If following along at home, you want to see the specifics, go to haltonpoliceboard.ca, find our agenda, you'll see it written out there. It's a page-long motion. So, having said that, can I get somebody to move that? Are you moving that motion, all four parts? Yeah. Thank you. Seconded by Nav. Thank you very much. Further comment or questions? Maybe we delay the vote just to stress Tracy out even more? All in favor? That's carried. Congratulations.
Go ahead.
Okay, moving along to item number 5, that's our operational verbal updates. Chief. Deputies. Okay, so I have a question in verbal updates. I'm hoping you can maybe enlighten the board on there. There is a, whether it's perceived or actual, increase in crime happening in the Ward 3 area in Oakville. I know that we've received correspondence as a board and certainly public inquiries. You do want to respond to some of this in camera. I'm not sure that it's at your discretion. We can certainly do that in the confidential session. But while we have the public with us, Do you have any comment on, do you have any like, overall comment on what's happening there and how the service is reacting?
Of course. No, we have seen an uptake in the number of break-and-enters, particularly in southeast Oakville, where residents have probably noticed it the most, and people talk and word gets around. I would say that I would suggest to people and citizens who are watching, most of who are not, we have a crime map on our website. You can go to that crime map. You can search specifically break-and-enters. You can see where they've happened, not specific addresses, but neighborhoods or streets. And you can switch the parameters from a week to 2 weeks to 2 months to a year. I think when I looked, there were 50 break-ins over a 60-day period. We do believe that there are one, if not two or more, organized groups that are doing most of those entries, and we have staff who are working very diligently on those. We also have at least one other entry, because I met the victims of that break-in 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was for grade 9 Oakville students. So it's not all organized crime. In that case, we apprehended the 4 kids, and there's a restitution sort of agreement. The homeowner was quite understanding, I think, and so we'll see how that goes. But there are some organized groups that we'll have more information on in the future, hopefully in the near future. There's been at least one arrest in another jurisdiction, which may be related, so there is a lot of work going on that. We also have put out a lot of proactive information, social media and otherwise, and through the ward counselors to people who are in touch with them. Detective Sergeant Ron Wright, who is overseeing our Oakville Criminal Investigation Bureau, who deal with break-ins in Oakville, have done a really good job of putting out information to people on how they can target harden their homes, what they might be able to do to prevent these situations. A number of them have been kind of early evening hours. Of course, this time of year, that's darkness. So people instead of noon hour entries in the height of sunlight, is sort of under cover of darkness where they believe people aren't home. But we are concerned about it. We are working on it. It is not to the degree that some people perceive, so that's important. I think the crime mapping tool will be very useful to people.
Do you have any, because again, we may have some members of the public for tuning in to hear more about this. Are there 3 top things you can identify on the top of mind that people can do to take action to target harden? I know you mentioned that there's lots of steps, but is there maybe a couple that you can just identify to think to the public watching today that they could help themselves?
So through the chair, based upon the town hall model and what our district command has been trying to feed back to the community, is that it is a shared responsibility, and things like lighting, reporting suspicious activity. When you talk to community residents, they'll say, well, I did see a car and I didn't take the plate down, or it's like those little things that can add up, that can give us a tip, point us in the right direction. So I would just say that, there's many different ways that you can report information to police anonymously. You can call our non-emergency number or 911 if you see something like a crime in progress. But that's, in my view, that's the best investment of our community's time, to mobilize them to help us. And then from a targeting standpoint, it's just having constant communication with your neighbors, for talking about things that you see, using your lighting systems properly, parking vehicles in driveways to, if you're away, so it looks like somebody's home. Those are the kind of things that we're trying to communicate to our community.
That's helpful. Thank you. Clark.
I guess the biggest one, and some people still don't do it, is even locking doors, because it's shocking how many people say that they won't, and even on vehicle theft as well, or even when vehicles get ransacked. Another one that I've found as well that seems to have so much popularity now are the video doorbells and the amount of tape it'll actually produce, for lack of a better word. I know mine goes off every single time, and then my security alarm of the Yorkie Security Company, but the chief knows how active they can be when they hear things that they don't know what it is. But I think that's, you know, there's sometimes even the simplest one, because I know that when I'm away, I have somebody over to shovel the laneway, make sure the house looks like it's occupied. And some of those small ones we tend to forget.
Absolutely. Well, that's why I thought it was a good opportunity just to refresh people's memory. And I know that there is a meeting coming up that the ward councillors have organized. I'll be in attendance with the ward councillors and Superintendent Sandy and I should be promoting people out of line. Detective Wright will also be speaking at. I don't have the details with me today, but certainly if you're interested in that and you are a resident of Southeast Oakville area, you can contact either of your ward councillors, David Giddings or Janet Hadley, will make it clear all of them. So thank you for entertaining that line of questioning. I think that folks will find it helpful. Last call. You nothing else from you gentlemen? Okay, we are at the point of addressing our public action registry. Mr. CGO, let's take a step through our action registry.
Of the first 5 items, they're due in March, with the exception of the employee insurance due at the end of the year. There's a follow-up from the budget. I believe the chief was making a presentation.
My understanding is the body worn camera discussion is put off till March, February. And the last one is a really low priority on the list of all the policy requirements you heard about from Mr. Tilton.
But we're capturing it anyway on the agenda, so we'll have it there. Some resolution. Yeah. Okay, members of the board, any questions or comments on those? And seeing, take a motion to receive the action registry, please. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Lisa. Welcome, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. I know you had a busy morning, so we appreciate you being here. Okay, so that's the action registry. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Members of the board, I draw your attention to the fact that we've received various items of public correspondence. They are located within your board portal. Does anybody wish to raise any of those, or are you prepared to move to accept or to receive the correspondence? Your wishes, please. I would move. Clark is moving to receive. Okay, seconder to that, please. Ingrid, thank you. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Correspondence is received. Members of the board, any new business to bring before the board in our public session today? Not seeing any. We are at the point in our meeting where we are about to move to closed session. Members of the public, this means that we are going to be ending our broadcast on YouTube. Thank you for attending and keeping an eye on the board and the food service and learning more about how decisions are made here at Halton Food Service and the Halton Police Board. So with that, I'll look for a motion to move into closed service. Closed meeting. Thank you, Lisa and Jane. Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. So once again, thank you for viewing. To those members of the audience that are not required to be here for the confidential session, you're certainly welcome to make your way out. We are going to recess until, let's recess till 10:30, and when we'll reconvene here in a session closed to the public. Thank you, everybody.